This is extremely important for us, and I feel confident, PIKOM gets confident, all the supporting partners, associations like ESG Association of Malaysia, MABC, Malaysia Australia Business Council, and SME Association. We all need support. What is the purpose of this event? The purpose of this event is the official launch of the National Talent Gap Survey 2025. This is just the launch. It is not like the survey today. All of you do the survey on the spot and it's over, and that's it. We publish the result. The survey is going to be open. PIKOM team, SGAM team, and SME Association team and MABC team is going to be reaching out to all of you and their respective members to make sure that we all give our inputs as industry members, so that our policymakers, such as Talent Corp, such as MDAC, the governments, the HR ministry, and partners like the academia, the universities, right, the TVAS, the polytechniques, right, as well as talent solution providers. They all get the right inputs. But it is not possible if we are not able to voice out what we are facing as an industry, right? If we do not give ideas, we should have a platform to give and express our opinions and ideas and the strategies that we all talk about in our boardrooms while having tea tawari and having coffees and all. We all talk about the problem, we talk about what can be done, but then we're not able to say it at the right platform, right? This is the platform. This is where we all give our ideas and make sure that we are heard. And what PIKOM is going to do in partnership, as I mentioned, with SGAM, MABC and SME, is once all the responses come in over the next 2 weeks, we'll create a report. That report is going to be published and presented to Talent Corp, MDAC, Ministry of Digital, and other government agencies, even Ministry of Education and other ministries, government agencies, academia. It will be officially presented so that relevant programs and initiatives can be crafted based on real ground data, right? And the matrix that is evolved after this service completed. And then those policies and programs are put into action.
Isn't fulfilling your true potential. What if you could do something to change the course of your career? Where would your imagination take you?
I dream of a career that let my creativity thrive.
I want a job where I can help people solve problems.
I would love to be part of an industry that's always evolving with new things.
My journey hasn't been easy. Limited resources and a lack of guidance have been my constant hurdles. Until I found the Job Readiness Program by HT Consulting, targeted for career changers like me. The JRP essentially distills 3 years worth of computer science fundamentals into 12 weeks. It can get pretty intense, but if you're up for the challenge and seriously thinking of ways to reskill for tech without going back to school, this is the program for you.
I think JRP is unique because it exposes us to real-world development problems that the industry faces and how to correctly apply CS concepts to solve those problems.
We are trained to think methodologically in order to build applications that meet industry standards.
There is nothing more valuable than to learn industry best practice directly from the industry itself.
And importantly, it has provided a safe space for us to learn. There is no such thing as a dumb question here. I graduated as a medical doctor, but I've always been passionate about tech. Attending GRP aligns with what I see myself doing for the long term, which is to lead development teams.
I am an electrical engineering graduate. Through the GRP, I have discovered my passion for software development and now have the confidence to explore a tech career.
Recently, I completed my degree in bioinformatics and always wondered what more I can do next. The JRP experience has shown me how I can continue to develop myself in tech after this.
Thanks to the JRP, I now have industry-ready skills that I can apply immediately.
I also realized that there are so many tech roles that I can pursue in this industry.
And I can confidently say I'm a successful career changer.
Embarking on a journey of growth often requires us to take the leap of faith. The Job Readiness Program is your ideal opportunity to reskill and transition into a tech career, especially if you're a non-IT professional. Follow us on our socials and I hope to meet you at our next intake.
Thank you very much. Solving the problem of skills retention and future relevant.
Oh, I mean, crunch in simple terms is the gap between the demand and the supply. The demand is too high and the supply is too low. And the reason, this particular problem can have multiple impacts, right? Layers of impact. One is the cost increases. Can the SMEs cope up with the hiring budgets of MNCs? Can the SMEs cope up with that? What an MNC would pay, the proposition they offer, can the SME afford that? Because there is already a talent crunch. Don't take it wrong. You can hire. Yeah, you have a big budget. I know that. But what I'm saying is that is one problem. Second is, of course, the skills mismatch, which we spoke about. I won't go long into it, but what is the demand versus what is available? Talent is available. Like we said in one of the videos, that so many hundreds of thousands of graduates are there, and then we have only 92,000 demand jobs available. That looks like an interesting figure, right? That means the supply is more than demand. But are the 300 plus thousand graduates carrying the right skills for the 90,000 jobs? That is the gap. That is the crunch, right? So the skills are not matching. The graduates are not coming up with are not presenting themselves with the right skills. They have big dreams, but do they possess the right skills to meet the demand of the industry? That is the talent gap. That is the crunch. And the next and the most important thing is the technology evolution is much faster than the programs that the universities and the TVETs and the polytechniques can catch up with. So it is so ever evolving with the international market, with AI, with cybersecurity and so many other things, right? That it is, will the skills that the talent possesses today, will it be relevant in the future? That is why we call it future relevance. Solving the problem of future relevance. So that's talent crunch from our side.
Well, I think these are a few very pertinent considerations, right? Because it's also a moving part where technologies keep on progressing, and we have that ready talent pool that might not be catching up with the requirements from the industry. And from an SME perspective, it's always difficult to retain and to sustain the talent that we have, right? So it's probably easier for Robin because his PhD is a big name. But another interesting point from Chia is basically the brain drain that we are facing in Malaysia, right? So gone are the days that you can't ignore Singapore, which paying like 3 times more per dollar. And how do we get them back?
Okay, I think when it comes to shortage, I think that is a big issue. But I think it's manageable with our education system, where at the moment what we are looking at is much more lack. So we need to push on the education system. So that part, I think government should get involved with more deeply. And then from there, we are able to outcome on the skill that we are talking about. When the shortage that we are talking about, if you look at it now, there's a lot of opportunities that have been demand currently, where this cyber security is one of it. AI is becoming a word where everybody was talking AI generative. Suddenly from AI to AI generative in a very short duration. I mean, the changes are happening tremendously, So I don't know how we are going to move towards that, but there must be a solution. So this shortage that we are talking about, overall perspective from SME sector. We have to keep on going into SME sector because that's a sector that actually will think twice to move into these kind of things because the narrative of them looking at it in a bigger scale, it's unless it is being supported by big institutes. So at this point of time, I think the shortage is something manageable when it's the process is taking place properly. So it's manageable.
Tagging away, it is the short-term TVETs, the certification programs which were 6 months, 3 months. You know, one of your programs, you're doing GRP, right? That is JRP, right? And that is great. So these are the programs which will help us catch up with the demand in the market. Whether it's AI, whether it's cybersecurity, whether it is cloud, or anything else, data science or whatever, right? It is the short-term programs between 3 months, 3 weeks, 4 weeks to 12 weeks, accompanied by a diploma or a degree. That is what is going to perhaps help us make sure that we plug the skills mismatch, and that is when we will be able to catch up with the demand pipeline. That's my micro-credentials.
There's an upcoming hackathon that is, it's really exciting, right? A huge prize money to be won. Hackathon is good. Hackathon means you get, the students or even the graduates to work on it, right? So those are really the hard skill I'm talking about to prepare the readiness of the next generation to step in.
The quick fix is the industry and the producer of talent, which are the university and colleges. The problem with the university and colleges, they never change, they never evolve. Whatever syllabus they train the, so to speak, digital talents, the syllabus never change. Computer science, they still go back to old programming and all these things. Now, I look at it is, we are all entrepreneurs. What we really want is, the university and colleges are factories. The customers are the industry, right? And the customer know exactly what kind of talents they want. I'm sure if you check with PIKOM representative, they know their industry, what kind of skill set exactly they want. Now, I think the quick fix is, PIKOM need to play the role of uniting the industry and finding out exactly, agriculture industry, what kind of exact tech talents that you need. And then from there, PIKOM should be the representative to talk to the university and colleges and say, look, this is exactly what I want from the graduate, so to speak, the digital talent. And then the university, instead of teaching them basic programming, oh my goodness, so we teach them the skill set that exactly they can produce instead of 4 years, 6 months. And straight away, this workforce can be deployed to the industry. And now, education is no longer 4 years. It's not like last time. We spent a lot of time going to the library just to search the right reference book. Now with Google and AI, you can get all this information straight away by seconds. The industry have to change, the university have to change. Education is no longer 4 years, 3 years, a diploma last time 3 years. A degree is 4 years. To me, now it's 6 months or 12 months. For certain specific skill set, it can be 1 month. I think if PIKOM can get all this information and talent requirement from all the industry and make it a certain reference point and work together with the university, I think the talent crunch can be immediately, I think, will be solved. That's my opinion. Thank you so much.
And we can have another session at a later time when we have these the results of the survey or some data from the survey, and we can get more participation from the audience who would all have their own concerns, ideas about what we can do, and hopefully all these ideas can be passed on to the policy makers and we can do something about it. It is a challenge. Being in industry for the last 30 years, we know that the challenge has been around for a long time. K economy, the digital economy is not something that's new. The problem that we're having is not new. We have thought about it in the formation of Telecom and formation of MDEC during the MSC days, right? We're still having that challenge today. I hope one day we can resolve it, like, Professor Chia seemed to be a lot more optimistic, and after having seen India's success, Malaysia should find ways to emulate that success too.